ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दम् गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। A warm welcome to today's session. ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We will chant from the 31st shloka today. Om अमृतांशूद्भवो भानुः शशबिन्दुः सुरेश्वरः औषधं जगतः सेतुः सत्यधर्मपराक्रमः भूतभव्यभवन्नाथः pavanah pavano nalah kamaha kamakrit kantah kamah kamah pradah prabhu yugadi kridyugavarto naikamayo mahashanah adrishyo vyakta rupascha sahasrajitanantajit. We have seen up to this shloka. Sahasrajit, Anantajit were the last two names which we saw, and probably I thought I will add one or 2 points to it. Sahasrajit, this can be our interpretation. We can look at it differently. Sahasrajit can be winning over at the physical level, where Bhagavan fights with the demons and wins over them. We have seen in our Puranic stories that be it Ramchandraji, be it Krishna, or any deity for that matter, Durga Devi, all of them, they physically win over the Rakshasas. And we have the very famous incidents where Khara and Dushana came with 14,000 Rakshasas to win over Ramchandraji. This, we know the story. Shurpanaka came, her nose and this one were cut, and then she went to Ravana and Ravana sent them. In no time, 14,000 Rakshasas were killed. In fact, Ramchandraji uses a technique. You know, one person killing 14,000 may appear to be unbelievable for a very limited, small human mind. But Ramchandraji uses a technique. He uses a particular astra. I think it is called Mohini Astra or something, where each one looks at the other as Rama only. Within the same Rakshasa army, one Rakshasa looks at the other Rakshasa as Ramchandraji, and other one also looks this person as Ramchandraji, and Parasparam Killayantaha. They killed each other, and in no time they all got destroyed. So whatever the technique may be, it is Ramchandraji who could kill thousands of asuras. Krishna, we know so many demons he killed, and therefore they are called as Sahasrajit. They, in the sense what? Bhagavan alone. Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. Through Ishvara Tattva, they come to the world as a Avatara Purusha, and as Avatara Purusha, they kill so many demons. Sahasrajit. Coming to Anantajit, we can look at it differently. While Sahasrajit refers to the demons and asuras out in the outer world, Anantajit can also be those asuras in the inner world. When we say Kama Krodhadi Shadvairinaha, it appears to be only 6, but the amount of thoughts they create are thousands and millions in number. Why thousands? Millions. And every thought has got its own target. And therefore, by taking the name of the Lord, by becoming the devotee of the Lord, by becoming a humble, simple sadhaka at the feet of the Lord, Bhagavan takes care of this individual's karma, bhakti, jnana, dhyana, all of them, and helps us to perform right action, thereby removing wrong actions. He gives us good thoughts by removing wrong thoughts. And he gives us the jnanam, removing ignorance. By those removal, it is as good as winning over. What is he winning over? He wins over all our road, path to wrong karmas, all our thoughts of wrong directions, by giving us the right direction. It is only a bhakta who can achieve this. Why do we say so? Bhakti is such a beautiful faculty in us. It is a beautiful emotion in us. And when these emotions, now please understand, mind for what it is basically emotion oriented. Even though we may say it is intelligence oriented, we are all intellectual persons, we have got soft corner, we have got emotion towards intelligence. That is also from one standpoint emotional approach. And then we may logically analyze, logically come to the right conclusion and take up the right attitude and act accordingly. But to take up logic as a primary means, I must have an emotion towards logic, you see. Otherwise, we can't analyze. Our analysis will not be in the right direction also. Think, I must have a, soft corner, we say. What is that soft corner? Emotions only, and emotions indicate bhakti when it is towards Bhagavan. Therefore, by having emotions towards Bhagavan, the mind runs towards Bhagavan. To that extent, mind is not running towards Rakshasi thinking. Thereby, Bhagavan is helping us by removing all the wrong, illegitimate, unruly thoughts and gives us the strength to strengthen the right thoughts. And for Bhagavan to do that, we must become a bhakta. Anyaha spruhaha asmadiye hridaye na asti he Rama. Think. He Raghupate, please remove kamadi dosha rahitam kuru. How? It is only you can do. I am unable to do. I am incapable of doing. Why? My mind is running after those pleasures. It has got the taste of those pleasures and therefore mind wants more and more pleasure. I am unable to hold. Why? Because of my own lower nature. Therefore, please win over my lower nature. I am unable to surrender. Why? I am unable to stop my mind out of my own habits. Thus, when I surrender at the feet of the Bhagavan, Bhagavan takes care. The more and more I surrender at his feet, the more and more my mind thinks of him. The more and more my love for pleasures reduce, more and more love for Bhagavan increases. And vice versa. More and more I spend time with Bhagavan, more and more I have love for Bhagavan, less and less is all the thoughts of the worldly nature. Bhagavad Gita says, Vishayan vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So, when I direct myself towards Bhagavan, when I use my mind only to think of Bhagavan, then my mind is engaged. Idle mind is a devil's workshop. But if a mind which is engaged is constantly towards Bhagavan, I don't have time for the other things. Thereby, Bhagavan is also Akarshanat. He pulls us. He attracts us to such an extent that I have no more time for all the petty pleasures of life. Thereby, He kills. He wins over all our lower nature and blesses us with all the higher nature oriented thoughts. Therefore, Sahasrajit is at the external level and Anantajit is at the internal level. Bhagavan takes care of both. In fact, Bhagavan will take care of our external enemies also when we are at his feet. Name bhaktaha pranashyati. Kaunteya pratijanihi. Declare, Kaunteya. Think. Therefore, Bhagavan is the protector. Continuing. Ishto vishishta shishteshta shikhandi nahusho vrishaha. Krodhaha krodhakrit karta vishvabahurmahidharaha. Ishto vishishta shishteshta shikhandi nahusho vrishaha. Krodha krodhakrit karta vishvabahurmahidharah. Another very beautiful shloka. Ishtaha. The 308th nama says, Ishtaha. What is Ishtaha? Paramananda atmakatvena priyaha ishtaha. It's a, the word ishta is also very ishta for everybody. Because we like everything what we like, we always want to have. Just now I said, the mind runs towards Bhagavan if my ishta vastu is Bhagavan. Is it not? Think. At various levels we can look at this. Paramananda Atmakatvena is at the higher level where my very Swarupa is Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha Bhagavan, and it is the same Swarupa of mine also which I am not aware. With reference to Bhagavan, we accept. And you know something? When it comes to Bhagavan, and whenever values and virtues are indicated, we accept, Bhagavan will have everything. We have accepted, we have taken it for granted, honestly speaking. Even when it comes to Bhagavan's virtues, we have taken it for granted. Why? Bhagavan naturally. Taking it for granted. When it comes to ourselves, we again take it for granted. Oh, how can human? I am a normal human being. Normal human being must have virtues. Those people who don't have are abnormal human beings. Why? They have not used their intelligence, which is given only to human beings. Think. Most of us, at most of the time, are abnormal. Whether, I know you may not like this statement, but unfortunately it is the truth. Most of the time, we don't use our intelligence for the sake of using it towards the right path, but we use it towards our desired path. Think. We use our intelligence for achieving, acquiring, possessing what I want, what is ishta to me. And anything that which is ishta to me, I am ready to work for it, and the rest of it is all kashta to me. Think. Now see, wherever there is ishta, there is joy. Simple logic. Ishta is equal to joy. Kashta is equal to suffering. This is our logic. Is it not? Anything of the worldly aspects, I have to go through kashta to reach that ishta. Yes or no? Think. And even though I have to go through this kashta path, I am ready to go through it because of the end result, which is ishta. Let us talk of the pleasure only. We will not talk of the higher part of it right now. And when I am unable to reach that ishta in spite of trekking the path of kashta, then that leaves me with lot of sense of failure, self-pity, etc., etc. And the whole life appears to be very, very, wasteful. Whereas, if my ishta is towards higher, there is nothing that which we cannot achieve. Because Bhagavan is Ananda Swarupaha by nature. When we think of Bhagavan, Bhagavan is all the time available. Think. We are not available for Bhagavan. Go to the temples now these days, you will find. Why? Empty. There are some temples which are very all the time full. Like for example, Tirupati. But 85%, I am being liberal, 85% of them go with list of demands. Think. When we go to the temple, how many of us honestly go there just for the sake of God, without any complaint box carried along? Tell me. Even if we don't have a complaint box, we still are not able to concentrate in Bhagavan because of our desirous mind which runs behind. See who have come, how many of them are watching me, what are they wearing. Think. These are all results of Papa Karma. What is the result? Even when you are in the midst of Bhagavan in a temple, mind getting distracted is the result of Papa Karma. Think. What is Papa Karma? Papa Karma is that I have taken this to be my body and everything I do is to satisfy this body. That is Papa Karma. Therefore, how do I rectify that? My Ishta should be modified. My Ishta should be of Bhagavan and nothing other than Bhagavan. Appears very difficult, appears very idealistic, appears impossible as though. But frankly speaking, that is the best thing possible. Why? That is surely rewarding. Whereas Ishta of the whims and fancies of the world will not be surely rewarding. Think. We keep wondering. We keep thinking. We keep, being afraid of whether I will get this, whether I will get that, will I lose this, will I lose that. Yoga Kshemam is our constant occupant. Think. Therefore, those testing moments, whether I will get, whether I will not get, will it happen, will it not happen, will that person accept me, will this person reject me, all these thoughts of our mind keep us on the toes far away from Bhagavan. And therefore, Ananda is a questionable end. We are not sure. But if at all there is one end which is sure, it is Ananda when it is Bhagavan. Why? He is Ananda Swarupaha. Physically we have so many ishtas. Emotionally we have so many ishtas. Intellectually also we have so many ishtas. There are some people who are who like very high funda statements, and in Vedanta especially, for example, they want to hear very, what is that? Deep Vedanta. They say deep Vedanta. What is deep Vedanta? That which we can never understand properly. Think. When an Acharya gives high sounding statements and that, this, and then we call them Kotakacharya. What is Kotakacharya? Who quotes left, right and center. Why? Anyway, you don't know anything. Think. Intellectually, some people are, they have ishta for intellectual gymnastics, Gurudev used to call. Think. So our ishta can be very many, and some people are only tongue oriented ishtas. What is that? Eating or constantly talking. Think. Professional talkers. Then we find the end result will not be satisfying. It will never give me that Ananda which I expected. Simple reason, they cannot give Ananda because they are not Ananda Swarupa. Ishta Bhagavan is Ananda Swarupa. Look at that. Paramananda Atmakatvena, being the very nature of Paramananda, Bhagavan is Ishtaha. Even children would love Krishna, Rama, Hanumanji, Ganapati. They are all very Ishta. Why? Initially, all the forms may be like that, but slowly, the gunas take the limelight. When the gunas match with my seeking, then he becomes Ishta Devata. And the very thought, even while you are walking on the street, let us suppose in one particular shop, there is a beautiful Ramchandraji's photo. For a second, I will take my mind completely there. Wow, so beautiful. And I go. Think, and sometimes that thought, what I have seen, remains with me for a long time. Maybe immediately my attention might change, but when I go back home, when I sit back, at that time I remember what a beautiful picture it was. Why? My Ishta. See, I have to talk of Ramchandraji's photo. You will have so many other Ishtas. Some may think of a sari, another person may think of a mobile, a third person may think of a cricket bat, etc., etc. Ishta, that which is Ishta, occupies my mind. Worldly Ishtas fades away, but Bhagavan will never fade away. Think, Ishtaha. Yajnena pujitaha iti va ishtaha. Yajnena pujitaha meaning what? Through yajna. Yajna here refers to simple worship. You don't always have to think that yajna means only when you give oblations to the fire. Yajna means, Gurudev used to say, yajna spirit. What is yajna spirit? A spirit which thinks of the good for others. Paropakarartham idam shariram. So working for the others with good intentions. 2. A devotional activity. It can be puja, it can be Nama Sankirtana, anything for that matter. If I love Nama Sankirtana, let us say I love Sangeeta, then Nama Sankirtana attracts me. Let us say I am a karma yogi, then going and performing some seva in a temple, in an ashram, bring some enthusiasm in me. Think, it all depends on what I have in mind, what I entertain in mind, what I respect in my mind. And then the worshipful activities then becomes a very beautiful activity. Even, while performing the puja, the way we perform will indicate the depth of love I have for Bhagavan. And the one who loves Bhagavan, the puja which is performed will give so much of ananda, both for the person who performs and the people who attend. Think. Therefore, ishtaha yajnena pujitaha iti va ishtaha. He is worshipped through various types of yajnas, types of worships. Upanishad says, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. This is another very interesting thought. That which pleases me is my ishta. At 2 levels. 1 at the laukika level and 2 at the paramarthika level. At the laukika level, everything that which I like, which is dear, etc., I go and perform. Is it not? I enjoy that which I feel good. This feel good factor, they say. Isn't it? Pleasing the self. Pleasing the self here is what? Pleasing myself. I perform all actions that pleases me, that makes me feel happy. I would not want to go and perform actions that would not make me happy. Naturally. Isn't it? For this, no much explanation is required. Is it not? When there is a person who loves to serve the people, he will not find it so difficult even to go and sweep the roads, etc. Why? There is a joy in doing it. But if you don't have some love, even at home you will not do that job. Your own home. Leave alone public places. Even our own home we will not do it. There are people who will not even wash their glass which they have taken coffee or tea. They will just keep and expect somebody else to come and do it. Think. It expresses what is the value I have inside. When I go to somebody's place who is very ishta for me, then I will go out of the way to help. I will go out of the way to serve them. Whereas the person whom I don't like, I don't want to even look at the direction of their house, let alone that person. Therefore, this ishta, anishta is there always, But when we can direct all our attention towards Bhagavan and then see the world as an expression of Bhagavan alone. Think. Tatsrishtva tadeva anupravishati, when the Upanishad says Bhagavan alone is everywhere. Therefore, Atmanastu Kamaya. Atmanastu here what? Here Atma refers to Bhagavan. For the sake of working for Bhagavan. And for the sake of being happy. Why? I am doing it for Bhagavan. Thereby, I please myself. Here the myself changes to not the individual ego, but the Paramatma. Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati is called Ishtaha. Avishishtaha. This is another very, very beautiful word. Sarvesham antaryamittvena avishishtaha. Even this nama can be looked at in two different standpoints. One is, we will take straight away Bhagavan Acharya Shankara's explanation. Sarvesham antaryamittvena. In everybody, Bhagavan is the antaryami. He is there. Whether you want him or not, he is there. He is not an uninvited guest actually. You should not consider it that way. He is the owner. Right? He is there. But he is there all the time. Think. He is there all the time. Therefore, we take him for granted. And therefore, we don't even recognize his presence. This is one way of thinking. Even though we don't like, probably, even though we don't want Bhagavan, even an atheist is being blessed by Bhagavan only. To be an atheist. Think. He is there. Antaryami. Gopika say, Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akhila Dehina Antaratma Drik. You are the Antaratma. You are the Drik in me. Therefore, now see, for example, another very beautiful, very common, very oft quoted by every Acharya. What is that? Breathing. We take breathing for granted. Until when? Until we have some breathing problem. Until we have an asthma. Till then, breathing is not even thought about. It is taken for, it is there. I am alive. That is enough. But suddenly when there is a nose block, then you recognize that there is something called breathing and it has been blocked. Think. Anything that which is there all the time, we take it for granted. Bhagavan is so very unassuming. That's a beautiful word for that. Avishishtaha. Meaning, there is nothing so vishesha about it from one standpoint. Alright. Like for example, on the other day I was watching one video in the YouTube. The American past president, Barack Obama, he had visited one college. And in that college, he must have taken a round. Of course, President of America, when he is going, all the paraphernalia is so conscious, so this one. But suddenly, probably, let us say, he says, you wait. Like our Bharata Pradhana Mantri, Narendra Modi, suddenly he goes inside everywhere and then sits with everybody. You come, and then say, he looks like one among the other. And all the students get so excited. Hey, Pradhana Mantri. And then they all come, they take snaps and then the photos. Even if he is not looking at them, from somewhere I am with. Think. He is not with me. I am with him. Look at this individual thing. And then we take photos and then share it in Facebook and Twitter and, all possible social media, WhatsApp, and share to some people you share 4 or 5 times. They get fed up with your sharing. But then what? Kamaya. Atmanastu Kamaya. Isn't it? Priyam hitam bhavati. But let us say you don't know who is Narendra Modi. Or let us say you don't know who is the President of America. Today everybody knows, that's a different. Take an example. If you see Barack Obama was walking along with the students, we have to search where he is. Meaning what? He is just there along with them, simple pant and simple tucked in shirt with even folded arms. Like common college boy, he was walking along. An American president walking with all the students, like the students, dressed like the students. Very unassuming. Very, it takes time for, Barack Obama. Think. Very unassuming because he is one like any other. Similarly, Bhagavan is everywhere like every other people, in every other people. Even in your most worst enemy, it is Bhagavan only. In your most dearest beloved, it is Bhagavan only. Bhagavan is common everywhere. Because of the commonness of his presence everywhere, you take him for granted. And he appears avishishtaha. What is avishishtaha? Unassuming. Think. We have so many people, great leaders who are very unassuming, meaning very, 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 very simple. Simple living, high thinking, they say. They are so simple that you take them, common people, like that. Think. Bhagavan is so common. Why he is so common? He is everywhere all the time. Therefore, he is avishishtaha, one who does not have distinct attributes. Beautiful explanation given. Who does not have no distinct attributes, as he is a very inner being of all. The attributes here does not mean with the externalities of life. The attributes here is very interesting. Attributeless Bhagavan, who is the very inner being of all. Because he is the very inner being of all, we have taken him for granted. One, because he is the inner being of all, he doesn't seem differently outside, therefore we don't care for that. Let us suppose, suddenly one day Hanumanji comes in front of you. You think you will recognize Hanumanji? You will say, which Nata company are you from? Because we have taken for granted Hanumanji will not come in front of me like that. Think. Ramchandraji will not come in front of me like that. Krishna will not come like that. Why? Krishna, we know him only as a blue boy of Vrindavan with a flute and a peacock feather. That also comes now. One nama in today it is that it's that only. One peacock feather. You and I will feel very difficult. What is that peacock feather and all on his head? He must have been playing. He would not have definitely pulled one feather from the peacock which is alive. The feather, the peacock must have shred the feather and it was looking nice. So he would have cut and kept it on his head. Playful, you see. But if Krishna comes like that in front of you, you will not accept. Nice painting. Where did you get it done? We will ask. Why? We have taken for granted it cannot be Krishna. So, very unassuming. What is that unassuming? Bhagavan is with us, in and through us, and all around us. Therefore, he is avishishtaha, unassuming, not distinct. One. Two. Bhagavan is the same in every one of us. However, externally we are different from each other. However, our constitution may be different from each other. However, we may appear differently from each other. However, we respond to each other differently. All that are externalities of the individual ego. But that which enlivens everyone, that which is the antaryami of everyone, is absolutely quiet, very, very same from person to person. He is the same. Therefore, no distinct attributes, nothing different. He is the same. However I behave in the external world, however is my quality and texture of thoughts, however physically I am small, big, dark, bright, whatever may be, he is one and the same, completely no different from one person to other, from the unicellular organism to the plant kingdom, to the animal kingdom, or the most complex human being, he is one and the same. Therefore, avishishtaha. Next one, Shishteshtaha, another beautiful name. Shishtanam Vidushanam Ishtaha Shishteshtaha. Shishtaha Ishtaha, we may say. Therefore, Shishtaha Ishtaha Asya iti va. Shishteshtaha. Now, Shishtaha means, from one angle, it means discipline. Discipline is with person who has got buddhi, who uses his buddhi. At the same time, who has got the right knowledge of buddhi and our actions. And then it says Vidushanam. Who is Vidushanam? The knowledgeables, the Vivekis. Here, who is the Vivekis? People who are interested in knowing Bhagavan and reaching him through knowledge. Why? What is the instruction? Jnanadevatu kaivalyam. So, they spend their time in gaining the knowledge of Bhagavan, and for them, Bhagavan becomes the Ishta. Therefore, Shishtaha, Ishtaha, Shishteshtaha is Bhagavan. Shikhandi. Shikhandi, we know, a character in Mahabharata. But what does that actually means? Shikhandaha Kalapaha Alankaraha Asya iti. The one who has peacock feather in his head. And this is very much referring to Krishna Avatara in particular, where Bhagavan took one feather. One. Of course, with reference to Mahabharata's character, Shikhandi is different. Shikhandi is being used by Krishna to protect himself from Bhishma Pitamaha, because Bhishma Pitamaha will not send an arrow on a woman. All those katha, then that is not our right now subject matter. Therefore, we'll keep that aside. Shikhandi means peacock feather. And the one who decorates himself with peacock feather is Shikhandi. Nahushaha, another very interesting name. Yato nahyati bhutani mayaya ataha nahushaha. Naha means bondage. The root naha means bondage. The one who binds the earth, the one who binds all the creatures is called Nahushaha. This requires a little more deeper thinking, which we will take up tomorrow. All right. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.